Tensions between Benin and Niger escalated a step further after Cotonou decided to block Niamey's exports of its first crude oil through its ports, and by doing so they are pulling the meat out of Niger's mouth just as it was about to take a bite, because in April of 2024, Niger signed a deal with the Chinese oil giant worth $400 million for its crude oil from the Agadem oil field. The oil was to reach the port of Cotonou in Benin through a Chinese-built 2,000 kilometers long pipeline from Agadem oil field. Now, in a declaration, Niger's prime minister stated that this blockade violated the agreement between the two countries and with Niger's Chinese partner. Now, to fully grasp the implication of today's crisis, we have to look back at recent history. Do you still remember that not too long ago, ECOWAS threatened to military invade Niger to reinstate the deposed President Bazoum? Now, during that process, ECOWAS imposed all kinds of sanctions against Niger, including border closures. So in response, Niger's neighbor, Benin, complied and closed its borders, and Niger reciprocated by also closing its borders. Meanwhile, Burkina Faso and Mali had publicly declared that any attack against Niger would be considered an attack against both countries. Now looking back, this situation appears to have been poorly handled by ECOWAS. Anyways, then Niger told France to withdraw its troops from its territory. Obviously, after causing a scene and throwing tantrums, France finally decided to withdraw its soldiers from Niger. However, France had requested to transit through Benin. However, and the request was emphatically denied by Niger, and they were told to leave through Chad. Fast forward, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger shocked the African continent by announcing their withdrawal from ECOWAS and the creation of their own organization known as the Alliance of Sahel States. Then Patrice Talon, the president of Benin, publicly declared that this situation had gone too far and demanded that all sanctions against these countries to be lifted in order to facilitate a brotherly dialogue. However, it was already too late. Now, in February 2024, Benin decided to ease the border closures, but Niger refused to reopen its borders for security reasons. They suspect that Benin is hosting French troops who are allegedly involved in terrorism training in a town bordering Niger, which is an accusation that Benin has denied. A documentary made by an independent French journalist which showed French troops in Benin was used as evidence. However, the journalist in question clarified that the footage dated back to 2023 and was not recent. Despite this, some French sources maintain that there are French military instructors in Benin, but not troops. Now, the government of Benin has made it clear that it will only lift the blockade if Niger agrees to play ball by reopening its borders to allow goods from Benin to enter and by restoring normal diplomatic relations.
We, ni nini?